Good morning, DirtFish friends. What an early start to the day we had. We left Ypres at 4:30 this morning, but if there's anywhere that's worth getting up at 4:30 for, it's here. We're on the Spa Francorchamps.
We got up at 3:30. We left it for.
David got up at 3:30, and do you know what? He was a lovely boy this morning. He put the coffee pot on so I could stay in bed till 4 o'clock. But look at this. How is this for a setting for the final day of our rally? That behind us is Eau Rouge, the legendary Eau Rouge corner on the Spa circuit. What a day we've got in front of us. Only 40 k's. It's a real shorty for the final day. But Joe David, I was unsure, as you well know. I was unsure about this massive trek across Belgium to come to the circuit here, but already you can feel it, you can sense it, can't you?
There's already a real sense of anticipation, there's a buzz about it.
There is.
But for me, you know, there always is. Go to any racetrack, even when there's no cars around, there's something about a place like this, and particularly a circuit like this with so much history, and it's like you say, it's worth getting out of bed for.
It really
out
is.
of our respective beds for.
Well, absolutely, respective beds.
Yeah.
Listen, this morning, it's interesting. They have reduced the length of the day a little bit. That's to do with, obviously, the terrible flooding that took place in this area just a few weeks ago. 40 kilometres, it's a mix, isn't it, David? Just explain to us the mix of roads that we're using today.
So, the both stages will start out on the kind of country lanes, and one thing that you've noticed, we came down past the signs, we turned off the motorway towards Saarbrücken, and we are now only probably 120 kilometres from Trier. So real kind of rally Germany feel.
It had a feel and look about it, didn't it?
It did. So we're out in the country lanes, a few kilometres in the lanes, and then they come out onto come into the circuit and onto the circuit link roads, some of the perimeter roads, and then into the circuit itself and onto the track. And this is the second stage of the day that is behind us here. So we think, I'm not sure if they use La Source, the hairpin off the start-finish straight, but down the straight into Eau Rouge. Unfortunately, I don't go up onto, although there's no point going onto the Kemmel straight, because that's a very long straight, and World Rally cars, you know, they just don't have the speed.
Exactly.
They'd be lost.
Exactly.
So they hairpin left at the top of Eau Rouge, down and into the gravelly
Rallycross.
Yeah,
into the Rallycross circuit.
Yeah.
It's what's really interesting about this morning, though, folks, is that the link roads, the lanes are, well, they're typical lanes. And, you know, as you say, David, think about Trier, think about some of the lanes as well, even around Ypres. But once we come into the circuit link roads, I've seen some images, really broken, really bumpy tarmac. So it might only be 40 kilometres, but there are some very testing sections out there.
What there's not, Colin, there's not ditches, therefore there's not jeopardy in the ditches, but there is still jeopardy around.
There's always jeopardy, David. Always jeopardy. The other thing that is quite different from the last couple of mornings is the temperature. 10 degrees we had coming in here. It will pick up rapidly to around about, probably by the time the power stage goes live, maybe as high as 24, 25 degrees. But as our ace cameraman producer spotted this morning, it's very dewy. That was his word. Dewy out there. And you could see it. You could see the dampness on the surface.
You can still see it a bit here.
You can still sense it. So, you know, particularly for this first pass, which gets underway very shortly, the first stage this morning, look out for slippery, difficult conditions out there.
But if you're cutting onto the grass, you know, there will be a lot of moisture in there. So let's wait and see. Absolutely.
What we're watching this morning, clearly, you know, it should be a bit of a victory parade for Hyundai. A Hyundai 1-2 is what they very much need and what we very much expect this morning. The battle, though, that we're watching is the battle of the Toyotas. It is incredible. We've had 250 kilometres near enough, just over 250 kilometres, and there's 4.3 seconds separating all three Toyota drivers. There's some genuine fighting going on there, particularly between Ogier and Elvin Evans. So that's really what we're watching today in terms of the battle, David.
It is, and you're dead right. You know, the Hyundais, they need to now just steady themselves down and get through these 4 stages. It's really nice, isn't it? We were talking to Thierry yesterday, and he's, what does he say, 15, 20 kilometres from home or something. He's really, this is his part of Belgium, so it just fingers crossed for him. You know,
he deserves it. It's a long time. Listen, it's 18 months. It was Monte Carlo 2020 was the last time that Thierry Neuville, before the pandemic, life before the pandemic. Imagine that. We forget what it was like. But Thierry Neuville hoping, obviously, to put that right with a victory today, folks. It is going to be a fascinating, absolutely certain, whatever happens, whether we see competition out here, whatever happens, just to be here to see these cars on this circuit is going to be absolutely fascinating today, folks. We're here all day. Stick with us. We've got 4 stages, 40 Ks in front of us. we'll bring you all the news on DirtFish.
.com.